Movie and Music Network, offering underground, pop, and esoteric cinema. Discover more at movieandmusicnetwork.com. Doc Sportello is a drug-fueled detective in 1970 Los Angeles. When his former girlfriend disappears, he attempts to solve the case.
Do you have a spare picture I could borrow?
But the permanent LA haze makes it hard to focus in Inherent Vice.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm here with Kevin and Rachel, and we're here to discuss the new P.T. Anderson film, Inherent Vice. We've all just seen it. Kevin, you look like you're ready to talk about it.
I thought it was boring. I didn't like any of the characters. I thought they were all uninteresting. They all had interesting names, but that does not
They did, right? There was
Shasta. It was just dumb. But and every time they said a name, there was some like weird, like, you know, Emily Pooterhouse or whatever. You know, it was just stupid.
I remember that character. Yeah.
It felt like Paul Thomas Anderson was now trying to do a Coen Brothers movie rather than his own movie. It didn't feel like anything he's ever done before, but not in a good way.
It reminded me of some of his stuff he's done before, and sort of, well, in that,
that they're long?
That it's long, and that it's not very plot-based, and that it had sort of an impression, a very strong impression, a strong feeling. And did I say it wasn't very plot-based? Because that was my biggest problem with it.
Right.
Like, I thought the acting was good. I didn't have a problem with the characters. I understand not being gripped, but I wasn't gripped by them, I think, because the story wasn't gripping.
I think the plot was confusing, but I don't think it was confusing because the storyline, it's because of all these nicknames and the slang and the voiceover, and there's a lot of things that obfuscate the themes and how you're supposed to interpret the film. So I had a lot of problems understanding the film, but I let it wash over me, and I liked it a lot because I thought performances were astoundingly good. I mean, especially Catherine Waterston, guys, that she was amazing.
She was good.
I understand that it's difficult. It's a difficult film, and I don't think I understand it, so it's hard for me to review it and say, like, well, I completely get it, and that's why I love it. But I still thought it was quality.
Sanj, remember who this is you're talking to? That's Bigfoot Bjornsson, Renaissance cop.
I know he is. So, what's the beef here exactly?
This doesn't have much to do with your specialty, which I understand is marine law.
We got plenty of crime on the high seas, Lieutenant.
Okay, well, so far we have murder and kidnapping. We can work in pirates if it would make you more comfortable. Either way, it's high profile.
Yeah, but given your history of harassment with my client, this will never make it to trial.
No, I think we could probably take this all the way to trial, but with our luck, you know, the jury pool will be 99% hippie.
I believe Joaquin Phoenix gave a really human performance. There are these shots when you look into his eyes, he's watching the James Brolin character talk, and he starts crying because he sees, you know, James Brolin head down a slippery slope. But I really felt for him. And also, as a character, he is a very passive character. It's interesting, like, all the clues come to him. He's not really actively investigating. It's kind of an easy investigation for him because everyone's going up to him.
That's why it was boring to me, because I was like, he just is kind of wandering, and then I'm just wandering with him. I'm not invested in it.
Yeah, but it's not. But then I think it's the film saying this is not about the mystery. This is about the journey. It's not about figuring out the clues.
But it didn't feel like it was about the journey either. I mean, I don't care how you set up the plot. That just you must set up the plot. Like, if they're going to come to him, then that's okay. If it's interesting, if the dialogue's well written, and if there's, like, you know, tension there. But
it's like Wilds. We just reviewed Wilds, right? And it's like, that movie was about the internal character arc journey, but the journey was the plot. Here, I don't know what his journey was.
Connecting with Shasta.
I mean, here all I feel
realizing what he wanted.
But here's the thing, we don't really know he's going to ever connect with Shasta because she's disappeared. So what am I waiting for to happen?
That you, Shasta?
Thinks he's hallucinating.
No, just a new package, I guess.
I need your help, Doc.
You know, I have an office now. That's like a day job and everything.
I looked at the phone book. I almost went over there.
I did think that there was some smart dialogue here and there, and I could see, you know, people wanting to quote things.
I wanted more.
But it's like The Big Lebowski. It's
diluted.
like that weird, quirky, super quirky kind of stuff. But I feel like it's so such a small audience that's going to really get into it that but I wonder, like, why did you go, this book, I need to make this into a movie? Like, why?
Well, it was a popular book, and it's by, you know, an acclaimed author, and I think it is kind of this, like, drugged up odyssey. It's like Coen Brothers, a lot of quirky characters. There are a lot of odd scenarios that they get into. But I think it's nice to see P.T. Anderson return to comedy. I mean, you guys, you're saying it's not that funny, but it's like he's been in these very dark movies the past few years, and I was like, oh, this is lighter fare for him at times.
But I wanted him to, like, write his own stuff again, because that Magnolia is more interesting, Boogie Nights is more interesting. They're super long. I didn't even really like There Will Be Blood, but I was more interested in it watching it than I was this.
I always feel like I'm stuck defending these movies, and I never really know what to say, because I'm always like, well, I really liked it because I felt good about it.
Well,
you know?
It's an impressionistic film. Like, if you want an impressionistic film and you don't want something that's cookie cutter,
it excited me to watch this movie. I was like, this is so unusual, and it's unconventional, and that usually gets me.
I'm going to make my verdict as long as possible, so you'll understand just how boring this movie was. Skip it.
I didn't love this movie. It's not a perfect movie, but I like it, and it was a great effort, and I enjoyed letting it wash over me. See it.
This is a beautiful movie visually, and it's very true to the 70s. It's got a great impression of it, and if you want to watch 10 minutes of it to get that feel, I say go for it. Otherwise, skip it.
Well, our votes add up to 1 ticket, which is a stream it for Inherent Vice. Cheers! Let the internet hate begin. To one of us.
No, it's stunningly visual. Or
Stunning.
visually stunning.
It's stunningly visual.